Recent study by the Taub Center highlights a spike in Ethiopian education and employment levels here in the country. However, with many socio-economic difficulties still facing them, a visible gap continues to exist. Nathan Mintzberg reports.
It's 1984 and the first wave of Ethiopian Jews arrive in Israel at the height of famine and civil unrest. Since then, the community has nearly doubled. Uncertain of the future ahead, many came without even a basic education. A report commissioned by Israel's Ministry of Immigrant Absorption in 1999 stated that 75% of Ethiopian Israelis could not read or write Hebrew.
The Ethiopian community came from the village. When we came to Israel, we came without anything. We start our life from zero. And when you start from your life from zero, there are many obstacles, many things that you must learn, and you must narrow the gap. So this organization is created to give that solution.
SPACE, a program set up by the Ethiopian National Project, provides scholastic assistance to Ethiopian school children and their families. Ethiopian Jewish immigrants make up 1.7% of the population, with at least half of the 144,000 born in Israel. A recent study by the Taub Center highlights the progress Ethiopian Israelis have achieved in their education. From those reaching higher education, it was hugely skewed towards one gender, with 29% of Ethiopian Israeli women getting a higher education compared to only 8% of men. However, the data collected across the last 2 decades shows this community still faces obstacles.
We found that Ethiopian Israelis who grew up and were educated in Israel had higher levels of education and had achieved greater educational achievements than those who arrived in Israel at a later age.
The Ethiopian National Project has one aim in mind: a better integration for Ethiopian Israelis in Israeli society. 17-year-old Batel, who was born in Israel, is one of these students who benefited from the SPACE program.
For me, it was always important to succeed and to be the best no matter what I'm doing, but I had a lot of difficulties because my parents couldn't help me. My parents came from Ethiopia with no education, so I started to have problems, for example, in math or English. SPACE provide me private tutors that help me with everything, to understand everything from the beginning to the end. I'm thinking about the Hebrew University or the Technion to learn. I'm still thinking about software engineering. And my biggest dream is to be a successful entrepreneur.
In the last 2 decades, the gap between Ethiopian Israelis and others in the Hebrew-speaking school system was significantly reduced. In 2016, for the first time, 12th graders in the ENP SPACE program surpassed the average of other Hebrew-speaking students in terms of eligibility for matriculation certificate. With 20% now enrolled in the ENP programs from non-Ethiopian backgrounds, one can hope that the success achieved within one minority can be translated across the rest of the population. Nathan Mintzberg, I-24 News.